Not really a stream, but that'll do.
Greetings, adventurers and innovators. MageJosh here, and I'm back with some electrifying news that's going to shake things up. I've been off the grid, diving deep into the captivating world of AI, and I'm stoked to show you how this journey is going to turbocharge our gaming experience. First up, 7 Days to Die fans, I've got something special for you. The Alpha 21 update is on the horizon, and I've been cooking up something that's going to change the game. I'm talking mods, tutorials, and a whole new level of gameplay. But I'm not spilling all the beans just yet, you'll have to stick around for that. Now, let's shift gears. Any Dungeons & Dragons fans out there? I've been weaving magic with a new ChatGPT plugin I created that's going to transform your D&D sessions. Even after 25 years of gameplay, this plugin is showing me a whole new side of D&D. But how, you ask? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. And for the grand finale, I'm unveiling AutoDM, a game changer in the world of RPGs. This plugin is going to redefine how we play text-based adventure games. But I'm saving the best for last, so make sure you stick around till the end. So, are you ready for an adventure? Let's dive in.
Now, I know AI MageJosh made a lot of claims, and I know they sound fantastic. Ultimately, it's because they are. First of which is, as I'm recording this right now, it is Central Standard Time, just before noon, at the start of streamer weekend for Alpha 21 in 7 Days to Die. Any of you following the channel know that I have long since been in love with this game. Case in point, I believe it's the greatest game out there. And that kind of segues into what we want to talk about, which is a new series that I'm working on. I want to start doing more recorded series, just it's something I want to do. And so I'm going to start a series called 7 Days to Mod. And the goal of it is I want to provide resources for people to be able to easily reference how to mod this game. Because the Fundamps have made it so easy for us to read the XML and see what does what. I mean, I say that, it does look a little bit like spaghetti if you don't know what you're looking at. That's the whole point of these templates that I am working on. I can even show them to you. Like that. Yeah, so on my GitHub repo, and if you don't know where that is, it's github.com/MageJosh. Pretty easy to find. That being said, there will be a link to my GitHub repo in there, so you can easily click it. I only have one template in here right now because I didn't want to get too deep into it before I saw the changes from Alpha 21. And I figured this one would be a good starter template for most people. I'm going to do a tutorial walkthrough on how to use it once I update it to Alpha 21, which I can't do until Monday. Look forward to that coming in the next week or so. Got a full list of instructions on how to use it. You'll go in, there'll be Alpha 20, this one, but then there'll be an Alpha 21 folder. Oh, of course, my dog wants to join the conversation, but yeah, there'll be an inside, the folder, there'll be different templates. This one is specifically for how to add a plant to the game, or adding new plants to the game, and it covers a lot more than what you typically see in a mod that adds a new tree or plant to the game, just because in all reality, in a game like this, it's an ecosystem, and so one thing you're adding actually affects or interacts with multiple levels and layers to the game. Case in point, a lot more than just the blocks and the items that you would think, oh yeah, I want to add a new block to the game. That would be plant that grows, right? And it's going to make a new food item. And, some people might think, oh yeah, I should probably add it to the loot so that you could loot it. Like maybe a seed recipe, if you made one of those, if you thought to make one of those. And, maybe unlocking crafting of the seeds with living off the land. You need progression for that, right? You'll need recipes. But, you know, a lot of people don't think about, well, does my food do anything special? Does it need a special display? And how do I add it to the traders? The traders can sell my food or my seeds. This is probably unnecessary, but I like to go 110% on everything I do. So there will be how to use custom materials for your item or block as well. How to add a loading screen tip about your new food or item. And then biomes and block placeholders. They're basically how to your plant into the game so that it can be found in the wild rather than only found through loot and the trader. Anyways, this is going way deeper into this than I meant to for this episode, so we'll save that for the next episode of 7 Days to Mod. We'll call this episode 0, and that will have us segueing into the next important thing, which is what have you been working on, Josh? What have you been doing all this time? And I know we've all been waiting on Alpha 21, but you were working on Purgatory. What happened there? Honestly, I ran into a bug that I couldn't fix, and there hit a point where it was depreciating gains. Continue working on it, so I decided to table it until Alpha 21 because I thought it was right around the corner. Turns out it was a few months or further around the corner than I thought, but the wait is almost over. We're 72 hours from having it in our hands. I know I'm excited. I don't know about you. I have enjoyed watching the dev streams on it. I am super excited for what the pimps have put together. Prime and many of the other fun pimps have come in to the various modding discords and polled us on things that we modders would like to see in the game that we can use. So I know that there are a whole lot of features that they added in that aren't even going to be used in vanilla. They're just there for modders and Twitch streamers to be able to capitalize on and create really novel gameplay experience. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's not all I've been doing. See, this last year, I kind of got a little distracted. And when I say a little distracted, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but AI has gone nuts. And it's definitely impacted, my business and many others, honestly. And what I decided to do was pivot and lean into it and, figure out ways that I can use it to be a better me. And one of those ways has been learning coding. I knew coding before, but not at this level or depth. And I have learned new programming languages thanks to ChatGPT. Thank you, OpenAI. I really appreciate releasing it regardless of your fears about, what if you've already done a bad thing by releasing ChatGPT? I don't think so. In this instance, I do believe that this is a time where you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs or flies. Anytime change is introduced, chaos ensues. That's to be expected, right? But it's not about whether or not, chaos happens. It's about how we respond in life. And that applies for the whole of humanity just as much as it does for the individual human on their own journeys through life. So I don't see why it wouldn't apply in this situation. We're all going to do better. We can extend our own brain function through the use of these AI chatbots. They're really useful if used right. And yes, dangerous and terrible things can be done with them if used wrong. I think the same can be said of guns and nuclear weapons. By and large, we get through life quite a few of us without having to encounter either of those things. So I don't think the question is on the tool, it's on the people. Maybe that needs to be the focus of our discussion, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is to segue into the exciting project that I got started on, which was to develop my own plugin for ChatGPT. Now, you have to be a GPT Plus subscriber to use the plugins right now, and honestly, I thoroughly recommend it. I'm not a paid promoter in any way supported by OpenAI, except for the fact that they created ChatGPT. But one thing it can't do is roll dice, and so there is, a dice roller function in the Wolfram plugin, but it's limited. If you want to play D&D, it doesn't really work well for that. And if you want to play, a narrative role-playing game system like Fate, or Fudge system, you're gonna need, something else. So that's what I made. Right now, this bare bones version 1 of it. There's actually going to be a tutorial coming for how to make your own plugin, where this version of the code is going to be available to everyone. That's actually already available to everyone on my REPL. So if you find me on REPL at MageJosh, go figure, right? You can go ahead and take a look at the code now, but I will be doing a tutorial video on how to make your own plugin for ChatGPT using that as the template, and I have quite a few plans for how to improve it from here. But that's not even the most exciting news, it's just what I want to make the point of this video. And so I will stave off discussing, AI MageJosh already gave it away, AutoDM. But AutoDM still requires the DM toolkit. And the DM toolkit will be getting a random function in the very near future as well, so that way any of you that need to draw a playing card will be able to do so. Say if you're using a deck of many things and you need to draw a playing card, function and operation will soon be available in the plugin as well. But what can you use the DM toolkit for, Josh? Honestly, the use cases are far more than I first imagined. I just thought it would be cool if I could, use it to help me, kind of flesh in different details. Games I was preparing to run for players. It can do that. It can do it pretty well, actually. It can also handle doing attack rolls for you. You know what? I should just switch over. Let's take a look. That's the wrong one. Yeah, here we are. Now, this is a rather complex prompt, as you can see. Clear, right? What's really cool about it is it allows us to randomly generate a character, a complete character. I started at level 1 because I thought, let's just make a starting character. Because, I don't know about you, but when I DM, I love inviting new players to the game, but I also know that when 2 or 3 new players show up to the game, and we only had 4 hours to play in the first place, that this is now a session 0. We're not actually going to be playing the game because we have to build 3 new characters. And that's easily going to take up 3 of our 4 hours. And so we'll maybe get an intro session in, and that's about it. Using something like this, you can run a person through a quick questionnaire, insert those details into this prompt, and it'll fill in the rest. And then you have instant character. Here you can see it was making all the dice rolls it needed to make character, selecting spells, starting well, everything you need, including a significant memory, living relatives, an interesting fact about the character, a backstory, and then reproduces the character in a markdown format, easily to copy and paste. And when it runs out of tokens, you just hit continue, and it finishes and restates itself so that it gets the whole thing for you. And if you don't like everything, you just tell it, I love that, but I want you to, give me a name, and I want you to redo the ability scores because, I didn't like that first set. And I'm making this character, so I can do that now. Maybe your DM isn't cool with that, and you probably shouldn't do that just automatically. And I say that because you'll be able to click the share conversation button in your message history and send your character generation to your DM as a link. I'll have the link to this character creation in the description, I'll also have the link to next part, which I am going to show you now that you've seen that it can produce the character. So that character sheet, this one right here, that is in the markdown format, once I get it completed. Yeah, it missed a couple things. I pointed it out and it fixed them. Like it missed AC and HP, and then it put them in the wrong place, and it miscalculated something, so I told it to fix that. Did that. And then this was just me wanting it to adjust the way that this appears for my own OCD sake. And that's a character. And so this is the character that I ran with and played. And that's, the end of step 1, which is generate a character. Now, if you don't have a DM, or if you're a DM, if you're the group's forever DM, and you just want to play, but nobody will take up the reins and let you play the game, that's okay, because that's what AutoDM is here for. You just come into ChatGPT and you use the AutoDM prompt, which you'll be able to copy from this conversation. And it's a complex prompt that gives it all the parameters and instructions that it needs. Now, I did not invent 70% of this prompt. I would say 30% is me. My first version of this was not as robust as the version created Deck of YouTube channel. Now I'm sitting here recording and scrambling to double check that name, because I definitely want you to get credit because you deserve it. I will also be creating a link to your video about it. I discovered it after I made my version, tried your version after my version wasn't as great as I was hoping it would be. Then I took the two versions and combined them. And that's what this is here. So, I hope everyone enjoys this version. I have since modified and updated this, and so there will be a new version. This first version, already out there and available for you. Tried to use Google Doc for my character sheet, but didn't like that. So eventually, I just decided to copy and paste. And that method works. I'm going to look into different methods when I come back and do the AutoDM specific video. Other ways that you can store character sheets and things like that, rather than Google Docs, since it does not like to play well with ChatGPT. And as you can see, once he got the character details, he just began the game. So gives me the synopsis, the starting, asks me what do I want to do. I give him a little bit of information. He breaks down what I've got, what's going on. I ask him questions. Gives me details about this tune, its construction, what it smells like, how it feels. I keep referring to him as a he, but that's because, it's projection. As the forever DM, I think of the DM, the image in my mind is myself. Anyway, I spent a long time playing this. This was a 6-hour session. It was honestly exhilarating, because I didn't actually start this test until midnight. I expected it to run for, maybe an hour, and then that would be it. 6 hours later, the sun was coming up and I needed sleep, so that's where I ended it. Long story short, when you get to the end of the game session, there's even a prompt here that tells it how to store, how to basically export your adventure in a compressed format that you can then add in to the end of your character sheet. I also had it list all of the things that I collected in my copy and pasted character sheet. I included the section with, it here. I just started in the character record section. I just started appending here, and I will just continue that to keep the character record of my story of my character. But yeah, pretty cool. I have other prompts to allow you to pick up the game and continue where you were. There's framework for having it generate dynamically new adventures based on what's happened to you so far. Those are all still in the works, and I want to make an automated system so that it's not a bunch of copy-paste. That's where we're going. And I'm excited about it. I really hope you're excited about it. AutoDM is available, but it is empty currently because I am still working on the files to upload. I want to give detailed instructions on how to use them and how to modify them, and so that's a little bit more editing work. Hopefully by the end of the weekend I'll have it pushed, but I'll get you something today. But yeah, no promises that it will be great, anything other than a copy paste of what's in that conversation for you for right now, just because I know what else I want to add and I know how much time I have to get it done. So we work with what we got, right? Now, before this video gets any longer, because wow, it's getting pretty long, let's take a look. The memes I had ChatGPT make for us, because who watches a YouTube video for content, right? You watch to be reminded to like, comment, and subscribe every 5 minutes, because, I was talking to a kid earlier today. He's a great kid. He hadn't heard of ChatGPT yet. Apparently, what was it, some 15% of Americans are all that have used it, which blows me away. Most powerful intelligence accelerator technology is invented and released for free, and more than 80% of the populace is oblivious. Did you know you can use it to help you code mods? Will it do it all the work for you? Probably not. No, you're probably going to fail if that's what you're expecting. It's an intelligence accelerator, not a replacement. Either way, it works if you do. So give it a shot. Remember to have fun. Come check out my website if you want to see any of the other crazy stuff I'm working on. I've got all my links there as well. And until next time, have fun.